Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Darkrim. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm going to be showing off a bit of a combo list today with LUNALIGHTs. A little background information. I say this a lot, but I have many favorite decks, and LUNALIGHT just so happens to be one of them. Also, I have a suspicion that I might be cursed by some sort of misconception or something, I don't know, from Yu-Gi-Oh! Itself. But it seems like any sort of deck that I choose to play, it somehow decides it wants to become some sort of meta contender. My deck lists are not supposed to be perfect. They're not supposed to be all that meta competitive. All I'm here to do really is to kind of just show you how this deck is supposed to function and give you a kind of a rough draft of where to start. For everything here, most of this deck requires a one card combo with at least one card in hand, so that way you have some discard to keep going with your plays. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add a LUNALIGHT monster from the deck to your hand, accept this card, and then discard one card from your hand. So what you're going to be doing normally is you're going to normal summon this card, you're going to normal summon the gold Leo, and yes, use its effect. And from here, we can add any LUNALIGHT from our deck to our hand, but we're specifically going to add our Yellow Martin from the deck to our hand, and then we're going to discard it. So you're going to add Yellow Martin, and then you immediately after discard it. When Yellow Martin is discarded, you can add a Spell or Trap, LUNALIGHT Spell or Trap from the deck to your hand. Go ahead and use the effect of Yellow Martin. We don't use the effect of Leo just yet. We're going to use that later. We're just going to use Yellow Martin for now. Activate its effect, so we don't need to do this. And then we're going to add Masquerade, which is our newest spell card. So from here, we're going to activate Masquerade, which this is basically a Foolish Burial just for LUNALIGHTs, and everything needs that. We always need that. So we're going to go ahead and activate the Foolish Burial, use the effect of it, and for this we are going to send a copy of Hound, which whenever it's sent to the graveyard, you can activate it to special summon a LUNALIGHT from our deck. So we're going to activate this. We're not going to use Leo just yet, so just hold off on that one right now. And we're specifically special summoning Kaleido or Kaleido, however you want to say it. So we special summon the Kaleido from our deck, and now we have the effect of Kaleido. So we can go ahead and use this effect, and what we're going to be sending is we're going to be sending Black Sheep. And this is just kind of the main run of the line, how you do everything. So we're just going to be sending the Black Sheep. Now, once Black Sheep is sent to the graveyard, we can now activate Gold Leo. So we can go ahead and activate this effect, add Black Sheep back to hand, and then we can go ahead and use Black Sheep effect where we discard it and add a Polymerization from our deck to our hand. So we can go ahead and use this, add one, then we grab Polymerization. You activate the Polymerization, and we're going to go into our new fusion monster, which is going to be Perfume Dancer. Perfume Dancer allows us to grab a copy of her perfume from our deck to our hand. So we can use both of these, and then we can go ahead and go into Perfume Dancer. And so we're going to use two chain links here. So we don't use the effect of Kaleido because it's just the same thing as Masquerade. We just are adding a Polymerization from the graveyard to our hand. So let's go ahead and activate Perfume, and Perfume will get us that LUNALIGHT, and then we can chain the effect to use Masquerade. Masquerade will add back the poly, and then we get to add the LUNALIGHT Perfume, so we can go ahead and do that. In which case we're going to use this, and we're going to send a copy. We're going to be sending Foolish Burial Goods, so let's go ahead and do that to add Perfume. So we're just going to go ahead and use this, and we're going to special summon back the Kaleido because we've already used these effect, and we want to keep Yellow Martin for when we get our copy of Tiger in our hand. Summon the Yellow Martin, and we can go ahead and use this if we like, or what we can do is we can use this effect to send another copy of a card from our graveyard or banishment to our hand. So in this case, we will go ahead and do that since we have all of this set up. So we can just bring this back to our hand, get this back, and now we have more of a play style for the perfume, so we can use perfume to send the Kalito chick, and then we can just add the tiger effect of tiger, and we can go ahead and bring back our Kalito chick because it's a level 4, and we can use the effect of Kalito chick. Now with Kalito chick, the effect to send is a cost effect, so the effect of that is not negated. However, whenever it becomes the face up monster, that effect is negated. So we can send, if we want to, we can send a Saber Dancer from our graveyard to our hand, or from our extra deck to our graveyard, and use setup. So let's go ahead and do that actually. So that way we have more things in our grave. We can go into this. We can go into this guy, and then we can activate its effect to place a copy of Tanky, and we can use Tanky to search. Yellow Martin again, so we can use its effect, and then what we can do is activate this effect, bring Tiger back, then we're going to special summon Martin. Now we have 2 cards set up here. Then we can go ahead and use this to go into here. We can use this, and then we can grab, I think the best option here is just to go into Leo Dancer, so that way we have another 4. So we can use these 2 to go into Cross Sheep, and then now we can activate the effect of Polymerization. We're not going to do anything from here. We're just going to be making Liger Dancer, and we're going to be using a copy of Perfume Dancer. We're going to be using Leo Dancer. We're going to be using our, I would keep Hound in the graveyard so we still have that negate set up. We can use Black Sheep, and then finally we can also use our Leo. Do this and summon the Liger Dancer, and we can even use the effect of Cross Sheep to special. If we want to, we can special summon this guy, use both of these since we've already done that, and go into SP. And of course we can activate SP's effect, but we don't really need to do that. This is pretty much the setup combo, and again, you can go into kind of 1 or 2 things here. You can either go into Baguska, or you can go into SP. I would probably just wait for Baguska and just go into SP. Let's go ahead and do some actual testing here. So I will be right back. All right. So this is going to be our test hand. I didn't pick these cards. I just got them randomly just to show what we can do with everything. So this is not really the best option of hands, but at least we have Tiger and we have Masquerade. Activate the Masquerade in this option. I would go ahead and activate Masquerade, use the effect, don't use that, and we can send Hound to the graveyard. Or, yeah, we probably want to send Hound to the graveyard so we can at least go ahead and summon our Leo. So we can go ahead and send Hound, use the effect of Hound in grave, and then we're going to summon Leo. And then we can use the effect of Leo. And instead of doing anything else, we can just go ahead and I would probably just add Kaleido Chick to hand for this situation here. And then we can send the Yellow Martin. And then we also have the effect of Yellow Martin in grave, of course. So we can go ahead and use Yellow Martin. Or not Yellow Martin. Oh, yes, use Yellow Martin. I'm thinking of its secondary effect, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to use that yet. Don't do that. We don't want to use Gold Leo. So we're good on Gold Leo. And if we really want to, we can go ahead and add LUNALIGHT Fusion to our from the deck to our hands, so we have more setup plays. Or we can do Serenade Dance, but Serenade Dance doesn't really do much of anything on the field. It's more something that just we banish it from the graveyard to special. So we can just add LUNALIGHT Fusion from the deck to our hand instead. We can go ahead and do our normal summon if we like, where we can normal summon the Kalito Chick, use its effect. So we can go ahead and send the Sheep, and then we can use the Leo effect, of course, to add Sheep back. And then if we want to, we can go ahead and use Sheep's effect to go ahead and grab us a Polymerization. Same combo, but with 5 cards in our hand, and it looks like we're doing pretty good with setup anyway. And we also have Perfume, so that's pretty good. So what we can do here is once we use this to make Perfume, we can first chain 1, we activate the effect of Dancer, and then chain 2, we activate the effect of Masquerade. Masquerade will add us back the poly. The fun thing about this is if we send Perfume, then we can grab a Perfume. So now we have multiple copies of Perfume active at this point. And then we can go into this, and I think we should go into, it doesn't matter here, we can just get Kaleidoscope Chick, use Kaleidoscope Chick effect. Of course it's negated, but we can go ahead and send Leo Dancer to the graveyard, so that way we can get Liger for next of Perfume. We're not going to do that yet. We're just trying to make as many extensions as possible to keep going with our plays. Make Cross Sheep. And then for this, what we can do here is we have these in our hand and we have Perfume. And again, what Perfume does while it's on the field, you can return a Lunalight card you control to the graveyard or from your hand, or extra deck to your hand, and then special summon a Lunalight from your hand. So, but you don't want to special summon Tiger because we can't get the effect off of Tiger. So instead what we can do is, I would say we could probably just activate the effect of Perfume, or we can go ahead and use Yellow Martin. Yeah, let's use Yellow Martin first. We'll use Yellow Martin to bring this back to our hand, special summon this, and I just put in the wrong zone, but that's okay. We're not going to be using it for that. Then we can go ahead and use this. We'll use this effect, and then we will grab back our Leo, because we're going to be special summoning Kaleidoscope Chick anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. So then we can use Kaleidoscope Chick again, and I think for this one we always, after that, we send Cerberus or Saber Dancer, so that way we can use it for the following turn. Use these two to make Baguska. Now everything is set, that's not going to hurt us in any way, and we don't really need to use this effect right now. So I was just going to go ahead and go into our copy of SP using these two. And we don't need to use this effect, of course, right now. Activate this and go into Liger, honestly. We could go into Chimera if we wanted to, but there's no real reason to do that. So we're just going to use Perfume. We're going to use Leo Dancer. We're going to use Kaleidoscope Chick, and we're also going to use Black Sheep. And then we're going to special summon the Liger. So in this case, now we have a whole lot of disruption here if we really needed it at all. We still have that. We still have a negate. We also have Baguska on the field, so they can't do anything. And then we also have SP. And we have an Ash in our hand. You might have Ash, you might have Imperm, so it just really makes everything kind of really lock in place. So we can go ahead and go to our next turn, and we just see what our opponent does. One thing to note, while Liger is on the field, as a quick effect, you can send one Lunalight monster from your extra deck to the grave and destroy all special summon monsters. That's a quick effect, so we can do that if we really wanted to. They're going to activate Lightning Storm. We're not going to let that happen. We're just going to negate it by sending a copy of Perfume. So, oh, and this is going to be at Ignister. Okay. Do I want to do anything about this? No, I don't want to do anything about that. And that effect's negated because of... Ooh, so they're going to go ahead and use that. That's fine. Oh, no, they're not doing anything. I guess they can't stop anything with the... with Baguska on the field, so that's great. I don't think we have to worry about much, honestly. We can activate the effect of Saber Dance to target Dancer, and then it'll increase its attack by 3,000. And I think we just go to battle. I don't even have to really worry about any other effects here, so let's just go right into battle. Let's just attack first, and then go in for lethal. There you go. All right, so here we are with the deck list. So far, I think this deck is still pretty powerful, even after a few months of it being revealed, and I think it's going to get a little bit crazy once it actually hits the TCG, so we'll have to see how that goes. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.